Hey, Jackie.
Phil, how's it going?
Pretty good, I guess. Oh man, did you bring in donuts?
Sure did.
Awesome, let me grab one of those. Ow! What the hell?
No! These donuts are for blue shirts only.
What?
You're wearing a red shirt. You can't have any of these donuts.
That's stupid.
Look, just buy a blue shirt, then you can have one.
I don't want a blue shirt. They're nearly identical to the blue shirts from last year, and besides, red is my favorite color.
Hey guys, I baked a cake.
Oh shit, can I have a piece? Ow! Seriously?
No, you can't. You can only have some cake if you're wearing a...
Yellow shirt, I get it. Well, what can I eat? I'm starving.
We've got steamed broccoli.
It's okay, I guess.
I'm bringing in pie tomorrow.
But I want donuts now.
Too bad!
What if I told you that the podcast you are about to hear will change your perspective on life, the universe, and everything? That your destiny will change for the better, and all of your dreams will come true? That the world, nay, the universe, will be forever altered just by listening to two people ramble incomprehensibly about video games for the better part of an hour? Now, what if I then told you that you can only listen to it on Vimeo? What's that? You're on YouTube? Well, screw you! No transcendental enlightenment for you. You chose the wrong side. That's right, everybody. Let's bitch about exclusives. Woo! More specifically, Microsoft's decision to make the next Tomb Raider game, a historically Sony-based franchise, by the way, an exclusive for Xbox One. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I meant a timed exclusive. But concrete definitions certainly didn't stop them from dropping the only on Xbox One bomb on everybody during Gamescom this past month. Thanks, Microsoft. You just turned every Xbox owner into that douchey hipster from 3 Doors Down. I was into Tomb Raider before I went to the PS4, but I doubt you've even heard of it. Ugh. Now, before you take to your keyboards, let me say that I fully understand why exclusives exist. Do they rob your competition of profits? Yes. Do they help in selling consoles, especially new and largely unproven ones? Yes. Does it make it easier for developers to optimize their games for a centralized piece of hardware? Of course. But do they also divide the gaming community into bickering teams of bratty children and largely hold back progress in the industry in lieu of overblown corporate profit margins? You bet your ass they do! That is why I, William Edward Handford III, have a dream. A dream that one day Xbox owners and PlayStation owners can sit down in the bonds of cooperative mode, where they are judged not by the pointlessness of their motion control peripherals, but by the content of their disk drives. When all players, not just the fanboys, can look forward to enjoying their favorite game, regardless of which console they call home. When gamers of all control schemes, inverted and non-inverted, right-handers and left-handers, D-pad users and joystick users, can come together and exclaim in one voice, "Why the hell isn't Destiny cross-platform?" Sorry, that was more of a personal point. But why isn't it, though? Welcome, one and all, to the second episode of Open NAT. I am your host, Will Handford, and joining me today is my co-host, the Thunder, from Down Under, Lucy Starita.
What's up?
Like that intro?
Yeah, that was impressive. I wasn't expecting that.
Thank you. I try.
I could tell you really tried hard with that one.
Yeah, got the first episode jitters out. Let's do this.
All right, let's go.
All right, so second episode of Open NAT, where we cover gaming news and controversy. Yes, very, very exciting. Anyway, so I introduced myself last time on the last episode, so you should know who I am by now. I'm a pretty big deal. But Lucy, however, is largely unknown by you people. So Lucy, why don't you introduce yourself? State your name, what you do for the Interesting NPCs mod, and you know what games you are playing right now.
All right, so my name is Lucy Starita. I am from Australia, obviously, if you couldn't tell. No, I'm not from England, because some people do say that. What I do for the Interesting NPCs mod, I've done a couple things. I've done some really great discussions with Chris. He is a great guy. But I've also done a vampire character in one of the recent updates.
How long have you been with the mod?
Not long at all, about a month.
Oh, wow. Okay, so a newbie. That's cool.
Yeah, I just kind of sent my demo off to Chris, and he was like, yeah, I like your stuff. I'll write you something now. I was like,
I think that's how most of us got here.
Yeah.
Chris is really laid back about that kind of stuff, so...
Yeah, really pretty impressive how quickly he got that script up, so...
Yeah. And, so what games are you playing right now?
Games I'm playing right now. Okay, I've got 2 games. I'm playing Grim Fandango at the moment.
Classic.
It's absolute classic, but it's taken me a bit of time to get used to the controls. You use the arrow keys, for instance, and it's not a side-scroller, so that took a while to get used to, but it's absolutely fantastic.
You heard that they're remaking it, right?
Yeah, they are. They're remaking it now. They just announced it. I think they announced it at Gamescom, actually.
Yes, they did, and that will be a very large subject of this podcast, so...
Oh, fabulous, yes.
Stay tuned!
Shocking! Ah! Yeah, so I am playing Grim Fandango, and I also wanted to just put in, I am playing Neverwinter Nights 2. The original campaign is quite boring, but
Classic
I want to
BioWare game?
No, it's Obsidian, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. No, Neverwinter Nights 1 was
You can
BioWare.
tell I'm super up-to-date on my BioWare games. All I knew that was KOTOR 2 was an Obsidian game, so...
Yeah, Obsidian seems to take over the less budgeted sequels for BioWare. It seems that they've... Actually, no, they do that in general, actually, don't they? I mean, they have Fallout New Vegas, which was vastly superior to Fallout 3.
Oh, was that Obsidian too?
Yep.
Okay, you can tell how up-to-date I am on Fallout as well. That's embarrassing.
You should know that. You should.
Why should the host of a video game podcast know anything about video games? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Completely beyond me. But that's what I'm playing at the moment. I've also just done the... Well, we'll get more into that, obviously, but I just played the new Silent Hill demo.
Yes, we will talk about
morning.
that later.
Yes.
Super excited. Okay, so first topic, as covered in the intro, back at Gamescom during this past month, I think it was like 2 weeks ago or something like that, the new Tomb Raider game, Rise of the Tomb Raider, had been touted as an Xbox One exclusive. And it took Microsoft and Square Enix a full 2 days to reveal to us that it was actually timed for the Xbox One.
Wow.
Wah, wah, but it didn't stop them from saying only on Xbox One and big bold letters on stage in front of everybody. And then Twitter had a shit fit, and Tomb Raider fans had a shit fit. Really just a lot of shit. Like inches of shit on the ground. Just people wading through it. I'm going to stop talking about shit now.
You could use a different word for it. You could use poo or poo
crap,
fest or crap fest or feces
I don't know, is there any
fest?
Australian word for poo that Americans don't use?
No, we say shit a lot.
Okay. Well, that's one thing we have in common.
Yeah, Australians swear too much.
And we both split off from Britain, so...
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Brother country. That was my Russian accent.
The motherland.
That was much better than mine, thank you.
Thank you.
Rectifying that mistake there.
So, I don't know exactly what to make of this. I mean, Tomb Raider is a historically Sony-based franchise. So, I mean, Microsoft must have shelled out a lot of cash to make this an exclusive on Xbox One. I would imagine so. And
Probably.
for that matter, I don't really understand why game devs go for exclusives to begin with. Are they afraid of making too much money? Why wouldn't it behoove them to go cross-platform on literally everything?
It's pretty ridiculous. I think as well, I honestly, I can't give you the answer to that apart from the fact that they think it makes more money for them.
I mean, I guess if you're getting an upfront handout from Microsoft, you're developing a game and Microsoft comes to you and says, hey, we're going to pay you $500,000 to make this an exclusive for us.
Do they do that? Do you reckon they pay them more?
That would be how I would go about doing it. I don't know if that's actually how they do it, but that would make the most sense, and that would incentivize developers to make an exclusive for that console. Because no matter how shitty the game is by the time it's done, you've already made $500,000 on the game. So it doesn't matter what it does after release. It's already made money.
Yeah. Well, so it's kind of almost a bit of a kind of corrupt cash cow. Not that cash cows aren't corrupt already, but
Well,
yeah, sure, that makes sense.
Well, business, great stuff. That's why I didn't go to school for it.
But I would love to get like a producer's point of view on that, because I mean, I'm sure in terms of business perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But
yeah, sure. Let me look through my Rolodex of producers that we can get on the show. Oh right, we only have like 400 views on the last episode. Damn it.
Hey, that's 400. Fantastic, 400 people in the world.
That's 300 more than 100. Yay.
That's something. Ooh, excuse me. That was my chair.
That's okay. Squeaky chairs. Hold on. I'm trying to make mine squeak. Not working. Okay.
Oh, great. Now you make me look bad.
It was the chair. I promise it was the chair.
Yeah, okay. Guys, it was the chair, okay? Just don't question anything about it.
Hey, hold on. I'm going to do it again. Hang on. Anyway, going back to the actual announcement itself. Try to get back on topic here. Mm-hmm. Going back to the actual announcement itself, I don't understand. Like, this isn't the first time Microsoft has misused the word exclusive when it comes to this. Like, they had a tweet come out a little while ago, and it said, okay, they have pictured Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Sunset Overdrive, Assassin's Creed Unity, Halo, the Master Chief Collection, Forza Horizon 2, and Evolve. Below it, it says, we aren't saying Xbox One has the best exclusives. That's just what everyone else says. So, right away, 3 of those games are not exclusives to Xbox.
Yeah.
And, like, none of them are even out yet. So how can you even, A, they're not exclusives, and B, how do you know they're the best exclusives?
The best exclusives.
The best exclusive. Not saying Evolve doesn't look like an amazing game, because it does. But
well, it's one of those things that they're not saying it's exclusive, but they're doing it in a way that's kind of clickbait, you know the term I'm meaning, like misrepresenting a product.
Yeah, exactly. And with this Tomb Raider thing, it seems like unnecessary negative PR for them. Like, why would they risk doing that if they kind of knew that people were going to blow up about it? Because once again, Tomb Raider fans and Tomb Raider in general is mostly Sony-based. Yeah. So this big announcement coming out that Microsoft has made it an exclusive for Xbox One only just unnecessarily pisses people off and makes people hate them even more.
Yeah.
Microsoft at this point, I don't know, their shenanigans have almost crossed into, like, adorable territory for me. Like, I can't even get mad about it anymore. They're like a slightly retarded misbehaving puppy, basically.
It is kind of, it's just, you're disappointed in it.
I chewed up your shoes. No! Bad, Microsoft! Bad! I saw a bug on it, and I just wanted to make sure it was dead. Oh, Microsoft, I can't stay mad at you. You know, it's like that, basically, for me at this point.
That, and I have to say, you just feel disappointment. You're like, ugh.
Yeah, again.
I would agree. It's gotten past the point of disappointment because you just expect it these days.
Yeah, exactly. Like any conference I see from now on, I was like, what are they going to do this time? How are they going to screw this up?
Yeah.
Because it's not just this. It's pretty much everything they've done since the Xbox One was announced. And I think we as a community would have less of a problem with it if they weren't just so goddamn smug about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Everything they present, it's just like, here's what we're doing, deal with it.
Yeah, and I think even if they're not going to listen, they should be like, hey, guys, give us some feedback. But they
exactly.
don't
or
do
like
that.
coyly kind of show off what these new features or controversial features would actually do for their system and the games that people are playing. And then we might actually be on board. But no, they just come out and was like, hey, always online, no use games, drop the mic. I'm Microsoft, bitch. Out.
Drop the mic. That is actually true. They do pretty much do that.
Yeah. And I mean, okay. Microsoft isn't the only person to misuse the exclusive thing. I mean, let's talk about Sony recently at Gamescom and whatnot. I mean, they had a slew of exclusives on them. Order 1886 and Bloodborne, which I'm super excited for. But I think the difference with Sony and Microsoft is that Sony uses the phrasing on PlayStation first for timed exclusives. Like, they don't just flat out say only on Xbox One. they don't mislead their audience. They say it's coming on PlayStation first. When that first is the big word.
Yeah,
there.
because I did notice that. Now I did watch the Sony conference, but what I read afterwards in what people were getting mad about is that they were saying PS4 was now doing exclusives, and I was confused by that because, like you said, I think they did say because they've got Hollow Point and Shadows of Mordor.
Right. Yeah.
But they're not. Yeah, like you said, they're not actually. I mean,
Sony is doing exclusives, but they're upfront about the fact that they're timed.
Yeah, well, and how long is it timed? That's the thing. But I mean, yeah, look, at least they are upfront about it. It is still something obviously for most of it, I think having exclusive things is annoying.
Yeah,
but
in general,
right, yeah.
It's not a good policy, but since we're going to do it, I guess Sony is handling it better than Microsoft is.
Definitely.
Yeah, and all of this is really weird when you think back to like the early days of gaming. Pretty much everything was exclusives. Like when we're talking Super Nintendo, Genesis era, every game was pretty much an exclusive for just the Super Nintendo or the Genesis. Like each console had their library of games, and if you wanted to play a certain game, you needed that console. And if there were cross-platforming things, like usually the game
really
was
different.
It was really different. Like the game was completely remade for the console that it was being ported over to. Like the one I really remember from my childhood is the Aladdin game for Genesis and Super Nintendo. They were almost completely different. They were completely different sprites, completely different animations, and even like the level layouts and designs were different.
The PC version was as well. Sorry, the the original like Windows 95 version or whatever it was.
Oh wow!
That was.
I thought you were going to say DOS for a second there.
It might have been DOS.
It might have been. That was still the early days of PC gaming.
Yeah, it would have been like 94, 95, I think. So it could have been.
You're probably right. Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, that was also vastly different. So I think that was a couple years later, though. They took that long to port it to PC.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of weird when you think like, nowadays we actually have it pretty good. But back when you were a kid, you didn't care about exclusives or anything like that.
Or when you were an adult, you never know. What? I mean, you know, like the age range that might be listening.
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess so.
I guess so. I'm sorry to older people out there that were adults during this time.
Why don't you comment below how you felt about exclusives back during the Genesis and Super Nintendo ages?
Yes, I would very much love to get it.
See how I saved that? I made them part of the discussion by telling them to comment below. Also, like and subscribe.
I'm so sorry.
Woo! We're on YouTube.
I'm so sorry. Moving on.
Yeah, moving on. I don't know. One of the biggest things for it just fans the flames of console wars, which I mean, I guess is good for profits in businesses. Like you want that competition between people buying your products, but it establishes teams basically. You know, my exclusives are better than yours. My dad can beat up your dad. You know, that kind of banter, especially on the internet, when you deal with exclusives in consoles.
Yeah, no, I suppose the competition's there as well. You know, but from a business perspective, you do like to have competitiveness and...
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. And it even goes a little bit of ways to, like, selling consoles in that regard, too. Because, you know, if you have an amazing game on a console, on an Xbox, for example, and you have a Sony product, a PlayStation, then you might be inclined to buy an Xbox just to play that game. Especially
might be. It is a gander, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, a gamble.
Gamble. Yeah, there we go. What's a ganter?
Gander is like taking a look at something.
Oh, gander. Oh, I took a gander at it. Okay. It's also, I believe, a goose of some kind. I don't know. I'm up on my synonyms, I think. I need a thesaurus.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, someone please comment and correct us on that and make
yes,
us feel very
comment
stupid.
below as to what a gander is.
We're completely wrong. Make us feel really bad.
Like and subscribe.
God, you're one of those people. Every moment, like and subscribe if you do. I'm gonna
Like,
have
comment,
to
and
slap you one
subscribe.
every time you say it. Every time he says like and subscribe, take a drink.
Actually, every time I say like and subscribe, why don't you comment, like, and subscribe?
Inception.
Anyway, what was I even thinking about?
Yeah, what were we? Exclusive things.
Console wars and selling consoles and stuff like that. And, like, this exclusive debate, like, anytime anybody gets up in arms about exclusives, it's, like, 99% only console games. Like, you don't really see a whole lot of people getting upset about PC exclusive games. I mean, they're rare and few and far between nowadays because, you know, if it's on PC, it's probably a cross-platform game. But, like, nobody was up in arms when Minecraft had just started out on the PC. I mean, it eventually came to consoles because it grew in popularity. But, like, everybody was going on about Minecraft, but console players didn't really seem to have a huge problem with it not being on their system. I mean, maybe I can't speak to the console players because I'm a huge PC gamer, so...
PC Master Race.
Yes.
That was German that time.
You will optimize your graphics cards!
Yeah, no, I think we are both. I have a PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 somewhere in my house, but never had an Xbox.
Okay.
I am biased.
So, you're on the Sony side of things when it comes to consoles, I guess.
Yeah, I haven't actually used my PlayStation 3 for a while, though, unfortunately.
See, that's a weird thing for me. I'm mostly a Microsoft guy, because I had an Xbox and a 360 after that. But, like, everything Microsoft has done nowadays, I don't know. I'm really considering switching over to Sony at this point. Like, if I end up getting a console during this console generation, it's probably going to be a PS4.
How much are they, actually?
Last time I checked, they were like maybe $400, $399, I think. I could be wrong.
That's all right.
It could be $500. I don't know. Yeah, I honestly don't know.
That's
Off the top of my
that's an
head.
alright price, I guess.
I guess I actually had a PS4 pre-ordered at one point.
What happened?
Well, okay, so
Story time.
gather around, it's time for a story. So I had pre-ordered the PS4, and I had, let's see, what were the two games I had pre-ordered for it? Destiny and Watch Dogs. Which Watch Dogs was a cross-platform, it's not a huge deal, but Destiny was a console exclusive. And both of those were supposed to be launch games for the PS4. Fast forward like a month and a half after I pre-ordered it, Destiny had got delayed. So it's no longer a launch title. So I was like, well, shit. So I'm going to, I guess, change my Destiny to Battlefield 4. Why not? So now I have Battlefield 4 and Watch Dogs as my pre-order games. Fast forward another half month, Watch Dogs gets delayed until 2014. When I'm like, well, shit. Now there's no point for me to even get a PS4. So I call up GameStop, and I'm like, hey, I'm sorry, but I gotta cancel my $600 pre-order because it sucks now. And they're like, we totally understand. So I just came in and got my money.
That's nice of them.
Yeah, but I was so paranoid going into like that call to GameStop because I had Googled beforehand, like, how do you cancel a pre-order? And I'm reading this litany of horror stories of like GameStop employees giving them a hard time, complaining that they might get fired because they lost a $600 sale or something like that. So I'm like,
why would that's really bad salesmanship, or that?
I mean, yeah.
Really, I've never had that personally.
They went to the Comcast school of salesmanship. So.
We have our own version of Comcast here. It's all right.
That could be a podcast in of itself, but we won't go further on that now.
Honestly, speaking of exclusives, I wanted to quickly mention as well, you have GameStop in America. In Australia, we have EB Games, which is owned by GameStop. It is GameStop, essentially.
Right, yeah, we had EB for a little while as well, but it, like, turned into full-blown GameStops, so... Yeah,
no, it's been bought over. But I do notice one thing I was having an issue with is store exclusives.
Yes.
As well. I think that is just really unfair. I think the idea with exclusives is that if you're going to get an exclusive for one thing, you should get it for... You get something of equal value for the other you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like some bonuses are very clearly better than others.
Exactly, and
and it's not just GameStop that does it. I mean, Best Buy, I think Micro Center did it at one point. I don't know. What are some other games? Walmart, Target.
Yeah. See, here we only have, well, I mean, please, any Aussies correct me if I'm wrong, but I think EB Games is the only one that does exclusives like in the American style, because personally I'm a big BioWare Dragon Age fan. I had pre-ordered the collector's edition of Dragon Age Inquisition, at JB Hi-Fi, another technological store. And,
did you hear that they just announced co-op multiplayer for Dragon Age Inquisition?
Yes, I did.
Yes!
It's pretty cool. Like little side quests that you do that are co-op. With,
Lucy,
with own set characters.
We can play the game together!
Yay! But it's actually not. It's not like you go through the game co-op. There's only little missions that are set inside the game.
Well, I guess that's still kind of cool. Because there hadn't been like co-op or anything in any Dragon Age game up until this point.
Yeah, so I'm totally for that.
Even if it's done in a small capacity, I'm still pretty excited about it. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if it's small, but I think they have like 10 missions in one co-op campaign, and it varies. Like you do, from what I understand, is that it's always varied. So you might go into one place, it's a similar mission, but the location's different, but you've got the same enemies or something like that. So it's always something new, which I think is a really good way of kind of fixing the monotony of a lot of those kind of co-op campaigns. I think Mass Effect 3 was a good example. I think
did Mass Effect 3 have co-op? I mean, I know it had competitive it had co-op multiplayer.
Yeah, the multiplayer,
but it was like its own separate mode with characters and whatnot. It was basically Horde mode from Gears of War in Mass Effect 3.
It was really fun and stuff, but I felt personally it was the same thing over and over again. I think that's what let it down a bit.
I mean, it was really fun for like a month, but then it just kind of petered out.
But you know what? There's definitely a crowd for it. There are still people playing it. I think up until quite recently they were releasing updates for it and such. But yeah, I think for me, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done, but the monotony of it. So I think Dragon Age is doing something, going, okay, well, let's have it so it's randomized. Like locations and stuff, you could have them all varied and randomized. It's completely new experience every time. I think that can it could backfire. It could be, the location's different, but it's exactly the same.
Right. A la Dragon Age 2.
We don't talk about Dragon Age 2.
There is no Dragon Age 2.
Okay, just disclaimer, guys. I love Dragon Age 2's characters and the story.
Me too. It's just it's a really lazy game in my opinion.
It was, and it was really rushed. And they actually originally they were going to do an expansion pack that was filling in the gaps between all the year jumps. I can't remember what the name of it was, but then they decided instead of doing an expansion pack, they were going to have more time to work in Inquisition, so I'm totally cool with that.
Hopefully that's time well spent, and Inquisition is going to be awesome. So
yeah, they delayed it now a year and 2 months. They had it a year's delay, and then they've delayed it again, which is, I know it does piss off some people, and I completely understand why, but for me, it's like I've been waiting for this game for quite a while.
Yeah, exactly. If I'm going to spend $60 on something, I want it to be a quality product. I don't care how long it takes.
Yeah, and it's a shame that Watch Dogs, speaking of which, was delayed, and yet it was still very disappointing for a lot of people.
Yeah, that was such a disappointment. I mean,
we
covered that a little bit on the last podcast. Like, you heard that they had graphics options completely locked off to PC gamers, right?
Yeah, no, I do. I thought that was ridiculous. I think it was really lazy. I think it was, worse support as some of the GTAs have been, which is saying something.
Yep.
Definitely. The controls in GTA games on PC are just... It's like handling the Mako tank in the original Mass Effect game.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, you can drive up 90-degree hills. It's no problem. You're fine.
Yeah, no, it's completely fine. Just barreling into everything because you can't. The turning speed
exactly.
is like, yeah. Anyway, but
Hey, GTA 5 is coming to PC though, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, hopefully it's...
Hopefully it doesn't control like the Mako for Mass Effect.
Yeah. How did Zero Punctuation describe the marker? I think it was like he described it as just like a fridge on wheels.
Something like that.
Pretty much was that. So hopefully, because I've heard good things about all of that. But yeah, turning back around, what were we originally talking about?
We were talking about
Great
exclusive
podcast,
bonuses.
probably.
Yes, we're super on
talking
point.
about?
We are just nailing it.
Oh, we both go off topic. This is a problem.
That's all right. Yeah,
We might need a third party to just
I'm sure it's entertaining to listen to. Tell us how entertaining it listen to by commenting down below, and then like and subscribe.
All right, hang on, just let me take a drink. I need some whiskey.
I'm gonna get you wasted.
Oh, hey, that would actually probably be pretty entertaining.
No whiskey for me this time.
Consider
I learned my lesson last episode.
You drove yourself to drink in the last episode?
Well, I kind of like having just a glass of scotch with me every once in a while. And last episode, Rania said something that made me laugh. And I literally spit-taked into the glass, which splashed the scotch into my eyes. So I had like 30 seconds of just pure agony. Just, oh God. I'll be fine.
How did that feel?
Like having scotch in your eye. I don't know. It's a uniquely troubling experience to have scotch splashed in your eye.
I can't imagine the weird burning white hot sensation. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't fun, but I got over it real quick. You don't need your eyes to podcast. You're fine.
Oh yeah, no, you can just
I have them closed right now.
How do you stop the podcast? Da-da-da.
Just kind of fumble around until you hit something and it stops making noise, I guess.
Or then you could accidentally leave it on and then walk off and,
Yeah, it records everything in your house.
Like, yeah, your entire life. Accidentally, like, get caught singing really badly or something even worse.
Yeah. Dear, can you help me lift this box? I can't, I'm pooping.
Yeah.
We're out of toilet paper. Can you give me some toilet paper?
And then you become a viral video and your entire life story is
you
doxed
have
on
to see this.
on the news websites and the news videos and
Sorry, totally just hit my desk with my knee there. Might be a huge thing
ow.
on the recording. I didn't feel good. Anyway. Once again, getting back on topic. Exclusive bonuses. We're going to do this. Exclusive bonuses.
Okay,
so, yeah. It's weird that video games are like the only medium that does that, too. Like
Well, you know what, though? I reckon if you remember Blu-ray and HD DVDs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did they have exclusives on those?
I honestly can't remember. I don't use anything except Blu-ray.
Because I reckon if there were... I mean, it's not like you can go choose 3D or choose standard definition and then make it. I think if there was a way of doing that, like people wanted 3D television, because most people it's a gimmick to them, I think.
Yeah,
for
pretty
the
much.
majority of people in the entire world. But I think if they had different kind of DVD players that did different things, I feel like they would have exclusives.
Yeah,
Because they already do that with... That was a necklace falling off the desk. If you heard that, I wasn't sure. I feel like if they did have, because they did have on Blu-ray, they have Blu-ray exclusives now. On standard definition DVDs, they barely ever have, special
features and stuff like that. Yeah, like deleted scenes and whatever.
Yeah,
so I guess that makes sense when you're dealing with two completely different platforms, because I mean DVD was a huge step up from standard definition.
The one issue I do have that with is that I find that a lot of the special features nowadays, they put them on YouTube anyway, like the actual
like you
companies.
can just search for them later.
Yeah, like Frozen recently came out on DVD and they released all the special features on YouTube anyway. I was like, well, what's the point of that? Your people are paying more money for that. They should have it Or maybe
that's got to be really disheartening as a person who bought a DVD specifically for the special features, and then you just Google it and you're like, well, what the
But yeah, no, like going back to the original point, I feel like it is, I mean, that's the good thing about it, I guess, because of the fact that we have the ability to make different consoles that have different features and stuff. People can kind of have their choice, and then that allows for things like exclusives. Not that, I feel that they're fair, but that's from a business perspective, I totally see why people would go for that, producers and such. But I think,
and it is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's cool to think about it this way, but like it's kind of cool that video games have the ability to be the only medium that does this. I guess that's a weird way of saying that. Like,
but
if you buy a book from Barnes and Noble versus Amazon, and the book is missing 32 pages from Amazon, and you can get the 32 pages at Barnes and Noble, that wouldn't nearly work as well. Like, people would not be nearly as cool with that with books as they are with video games.
Well, I mean, that's actually one thing. I guess you could say Kindle and books. I think they are separate mediums. It's definitely not the same way, but I think you can get a lot of crappy books on Kindle only because it's cheaper than actually publishing it on paper.
And I guess it would be easier for the author/publisher of the crappy books to put it on Kindle versus actually trying to get it bound and published and sent to bookstores.
Well, apparently I read that authors actually get more money from Kindle than they do on the publishing, because you're not necessarily losing money, but you are putting a lot of money into the publishing part of it.
Yeah, like you got to worry about print costs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The
So
cost of paper
technically,
and like designing a cover and getting an about the author page on the back, where digitally you can just have it on a thumb drive and populate it to millions of people.
I have to wonder though, because there is Kindle and then there's Kobo and Fire something, or is that the Kindle too?
I think Kindle is Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a Kindle Fire, which is kind of like their answer to the iPad and the Google Play Store and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a Kindle book exclusive to the Kindle store and not to other e-readers, but yeah, you're right, it isn't the same thing at all. It's not like you're getting a different product, or you're not getting... You can still download the Kindle app for free and read it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
And just buy the book on that and then refund the other book or whatever. And there is really... I mean, I'm trying to think of other examples, but there is really nothing similar to it. And because they do exclusive content.
It's pretty much... It's exclusive to video games.
Well, they also do DLC exclusives.
Did you see what I did there? Exclusive to video games. I did it.
There was actually recently... I'm trying to think. There was... at Gamescom, there was an exclusive DLC announced for something. Question is, what was it?
I don't know. Was it Far Cry 4, maybe? Because I know they showed off... No, I think that was just part of the game. Because they showed off some stuff about, like, it dealing... It going back and dealing
Destiny
with...
had timed exclusive DLC.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah. But it doesn't say that they had... It's only timed exclusive, so it's not...
So it's not a full-on exclusive. Other consoles are getting it eventually.
I wasn't sure if it was, they only have that DLC for PS3 or something, which would be stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on to our next topic. Good segue there. Gamescom!
You're welcome.
Exciting show! So, we're going to take this time to talk about the upcoming stuff that we're excited about and the stuff we're not so excited about. So, let's start with you, Lucy. What are you excited about?
Look, honestly, I will start with saying, we'll talk about Silent Hill later because we're both big fans of it.
Oh yeah, I've been dying to do that. I'm so excited for the new Silent Hill game.
But the other games I'm really looking forward to Volume. It's a game that was by the guy that did Thomas Was Alone.
Yeah.
Really interesting...
It harkens back to like the classic Metal Gear games, sort of. It's kind of like that third-person fixed camera stealth thing.
And you can also, make your own maps and such. And it's just, I personally love stealth games. I love the fact that you have the field of view as well, and you can distracted. It's just all the classics, like exactly like Metal Gear Solid does that beautiful stealthing.
Like even in its, I don't know, quote unquote cinematography, like it has the same angles and whatnot of a Metal Gear.
Exactly, yeah. It's so yeah. No, apart from the barrel, not barrel rolls, it's wrong reference there. The what did he do? He did those really funny little tuck and rolls all the time.
Are we talking about Volume or Metal Gear?
Oh, we're talking about Metal Gear in the original.
I mean, he had the dive rolls.
Oh yeah,
and whatnot.
he hid in things all the time. He like hid in like little.
Oh, I mean, well, there's like the
sorry,
box, which is notorious.
The box, that's it. Thank you, the box.
Which that was funny during Gamescom when they showed off Phantom Pain, and like the entire presentation was just about Snake hiding in a box and all the different ways that Snake can hide in a box this time around.
No.
Like at first I was like, what the fuck? Why would Hideo Kojima, like, why would that be the thing you show off to people at Gamescom? But then it was like one big joke to kind of cover up the Silent Hill announcement that kind of caught everybody by surprise. So
yeah, everyone was just like, excuse me?
Yeah, I was like, what
did you just say? Who are the names on that screen? Let's pause this just before we go into Silent Hill, because I also wanted to quickly say Quantum Break, really looking forward to that. I think
that looks interesting. That's one of those, it has a TV show tied into it, right? Like that's the plan for it?
Yeah, and I think it is something I did notice originally. I don't know if many people know this, but Bioshock Infinite originally had a similar concept, which was about fragments of different, not only being in different I don't know, like time periods or alternate realities and all of that. It was
going to be a television show?
No, but it was way more focused on parallel universes being broken into each other and stuff like that, and altering, the reality and
altering time and slowing stuff.
Yeah, so and I really like. I was always
the
really
visuals in that game are insane.
Oh my gosh, yeah, but that's what I mean. Originally, Bioshock Infinite was way more about that. Like, you would have a character who would be standing on a podium talking to no one, but they would be reacting as if there were people there, or they would have.
I remember that from like the first teaser trailer that they did. Like, there was a whole bunch of people doing stuff like that.
Yeah, and you would have people with two different faces, one face from one reality and then one face from this reality.
Yeah, that freaked me out. That dude who was talking to a crowd of nobody, when he finally did notice the main character, his face like shifted into two different faces as he exclaimed, "Who are you?"
Yeah. So
freaked me the fuck out the first time I saw it, but in a good way.
It was really creepy. Yeah, I think but the thing was that I think Bioshock originally was about that, and I think Quantum Break is kind of going into similar territory, and so I'm really excited to see that. Because I thought it was a wasted opportunity for Bioshock Infinite to not explore that.
Yeah, not explore that a little bit more. It will be interesting to see how the game ties into a TV show, though. Because what's the other game that...
It's usually like a spin-off game, or a game that's of the same... It's a game doing exactly the same thing as a film or TV show, but you're just...
Yeah, but like the two are supposed to like influence one another.
Yeah.
Like what happens in the TV show influences what happens in the game, and vice versa. There's another TV show out right now. Oh god, I can't remember the name. Defiance. That's what it is. Yeah, has its own game, which is an MMO. But like the things that happen in the television show, in addition to bringing over the characters into the game, like they'll have side quests based on what happened in that episode that week.
Yeah.
Updated into the MMO. So that's going to be kind of interesting how they make that work. I'm really interested to see how that's going to happen. Okay, Silent Hill. Let's talk about Silent Hill.
Okay.
Let's talk about Silent Hill. So Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro are making a Silent Hill game.
And Norman Reedus is in it.
I know! Oh my god! I'm so So you played the demo.
Okay, at first I was like really shocked. I was like, what do I say to this?
Well, I didn't know what I was looking at first. Like, I had only heard whisperings of that there was a new Silent Hill game or whatnot, so I was just watching the trailer. And it was just kind of like presented as a new game from Hideo Kojima, which entitled PT. Like, nobody knew what the hell that meant. So you went through the demo and whatnot, and it was a spooky, scary game. And, like, the entire time I'm watching the video, I'm like, this looks a lot like Silent Hill.
Well, they had the cockroaches. The cockroaches and then yeah, that was the part that got me.
Yeah. And then, they did the big reveal with Norman Reedus' face actually being mocapped as Norman Reedus in the game, which is really cool. And then the slow black text reveals on the white background, Silent Hill.
S. I was like, what? What does that mean? Does that mean there's more than one?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm
I'd like to
assuming
think that was Hideo Kojima's creative input on the title.
Of
Add an
course
S.
it was. It totally was. It screamed it. But what's good? Actually, I have to ask, what is Guillermo del Toro's? What is he doing with it? Is he just to do? Because I mean, he has fantastic vision in terms of ideas. If you've ever seen his sketchbooks and stuff, I think some of his character creations and stuff are amazing.
The way I like to think about it is Guillermo del Toro wanted to make a Silent Hill game, but didn't know how to make Silent Hill into a game. So
because he was attached to Silent Hill a while ago.
So he got in touch with Hideo Kojima, who is a game developer. So he talked to him and be like, "Hey, I want to make a Silent Hill game. Here's what I kind of want it to look like. How do I make this happen in the video game medium? Because I'm used to film." That's how I'd like to think it all went down, and that's what makes the most sense to me. So that's my headcanon on what happened with the new Silent Hill and talking about it. But I also know that Guillermo del Toro has been trying to make a horror game for a while now. Like, he had three announced, and one was for THQ, which they went under and the project was canceled. The other one was for Acclaim, which they went under and the project was canceled. And now he's finally making a Silent Hill game. So I feel like he's really excited to jump at this opportunity to make a horror game, since he's obviously wanted to do that for a while now.
Yeah, and I think we've had so many disappointments with Silent Hill of recent time.
Yep.
It's high time to get another good one, and I'm quite confident in that power team. It could go wrong.
Yeah, it could go... This is either going to be amazing or really, really bad. Yeah. I don't see any middle ground here.
No, I don't either. Because it's like they are introducing... They've always had... they haven't had bow-capped faces, but they've had, realistic characters and...
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how the Silent Hill plays into the Fox engine, because they're using the Fox engine from Metal Gear Solid 5 to make the game.
I think, actually, no, I think it could work, because a lot of Silent Hill...
it looks amazing, first of all.
It does,
Let's get out of the way. That out of the way. The visuals are incredible. So, if nothing else, the game is going to look awesome because of the Fox engine.
I thought the idea of a playable teaser, it's so wanky, but it was cool.
Yeah, and that's not done that often, and it's...
But the thing is that it's a teaser, which means it's not actually part of the game.
Yeah, like, the game could actually have nothing to do with the teaser.
And I have to say, so... The one thing I didn't like in the playable teaser was the fetus. I thought that was a bit... Okay, Silent Hill has a lot of really disturbing things, but I think showing a fetus in game was a bit... I thought that was just a little pushing it to a point that personally made me really uncomfortable. It really...
I guess that's kind of the point, though. Silent Hill isn't supposed to... You're not supposed to feel comfortable while playing a Silent Hill game.
Yeah, no, of course.
And that grotesquerie, is supposed to push you to your edge, I guess, of your comfort zone.
I just felt that usually Silent Hill monsters are they're more just like, this is kind of based on a whole lot of really fucked up psychological things put together.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in Silent Hill 2, Angela's demon boss was like this picture, basically this rape monster.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I guess the unborn fetus crying and stuff was quite a distressing image for me. It personally went to a zone that I wasn't really. I don't think
you weren't on board with. Yeah.
Yeah, but it is a complicated thing, because it's not going to be the same for everyone, and it's definitely something that they've gone there. It's nothing to do, but I thought that was a bit much. But the rest of it was. It had really all of fucking creepy.
Yeah, it had all of like the perfect pacing that a Silent Hill game should have. It really did, because there wasn't jump scares every once. Like, there was only maybe one or two jump scares.
That's the thing I noticed. I was really worried. Like, I was freaking out there was going to be jump scares, because I was freaking out more because I'm like, oh no, Silent Hill isn't about the jump scares. It's about the freaky, suspenseful atmosphere.
Exactly. The great thing about Silent Hill is that it's all in your mind. Like, you make it scarier than the situation actually is, just because you're so on edge the entire time.
Yeah.
And when the monster is actually revealed, like, it's almost not as bad as you thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Like, the image you made in your head is worse than anything the game could throw at you.
Exactly. Well, they exactly, because of the fact that they encourage you to use your imagination with it. Mm-hmm. They never really fully explain things. They let you go, okay, well, what do you think it is? That's probably going to scare the shit out of you more than whatever we could do.
Yeah, exactly.
By just hinting at things or not showing something. And so I think definitely, like, in the playable teaser, I was constantly looking behind me, expecting to see something at the end of the hallway.
Yeah. Something's behind me, something's behind me. Ah, okay.
And then eventually there was something.
That cracked open door where if you look at it too long, that thing comes out and just shuts it really quick. And you're, like, not even sure of what you saw. You're just like, what was that?
Yeah. You're just like,
your brain even doesn't have time to make sense of what just happened, but you just know you're scared and you're on edge.
Yeah, and I feel just because it was a teaser, they had to have the jump scare at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to get people's attention at the end. But I feel
to drive the point home. I guess.
They didn't even need it really, but they had to do it because a teaser
it was a
something
pretty
to the end of it.
expertly crafted jump scare, though. You're so on edge by the time it gets there, you shit yourself when it shows up.
And then I have to say the radio station, like the last time when the guy's slowly talking to you and then he has the numbers.
Yep.
Was that the date of the release date or something?
I don't know. I think there's a little bit of speculation online as to what that means. And
right,
I don't think we have any clear answers yet.
Yeah,
so.
It was 2. I don't know, it started with 2. That's all I remember. But yeah, it did scare the absolute shit out of me. And it was actually the fact that it was first person. I thought really harkened back to Silent Hill 4.
Yeah.
When you're in his apartment.
When you're in the room, yeah. Which was like the best parts of that game.
Oh yeah, definitely by far. It's funny. A lot of people don't like it. I thought I liked it a lot. I just think the backtracking was the thing that let it down.
Silent Hill 4 was all right.
Yeah.
Like I said, definitely the best parts of the game were when you're in the room and freaky shit keeps happening.
Yeah, and
but
the
like
ghost
the actual game part of the game, I don't know, was
Running
kind of
away from
lackluster.
the ghosts was really annoying.
Yes, that was really annoying.
Yeah. So oh god.
When shit started like crawling out of the walls in your apartment.
And then you have the faces showing up on the walls. And...
Yep. Speaking of faces, the giant Eileen face, do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh,
that was fucking terrifying.
Haunts my nightmares to this day. Like, the game came out 6 years ago, and I still think about that.
Yeah, that was probably one of the best moments in that game. So, it definitely, like I said before, it definitely reminded me of Silent Hill 4 with the first person. I don't think it's going to have first person the entire time, though.
I would hope it doesn't.
Yeah, because that would be weird.
But then it would add that other extra dimension to the game where
constantly looking behind you.
You don't have peripherals. Like, you can't see what's to the side of you or behind you. If it's third person, you kind of can.
The thing is that's why Silent Hill worked originally, because of the fog. So you couldn't see anyway. But it was better for combat, I think. Mm-hmm.
But you'll also run into that problem, like if a monster sneaks up behind you. In third person, you can see it, but it's already too late, so it's going to attack you. In first person, you'll just get attacked by something, then you'll turn around, freak out, and run. So it's like Amnesia, basically. You're getting attacked by something. You don't know what you're getting attacked by, but you're frightened.
It's most likely something terrifying, and it won't make sense at all.
All right, well, moving on from Silent Hill to other stuff we were excited about. Pretty much Sony's entire press conference I was really impressed with.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff to get through, but they had a lot of... Yeah, they had a lot, but it was really good.
Their indie lineup was really impressive. Rime, Volume, Hellblade, next game by Ninja Theory, Wild.
Actually, I have a quick question about that. Was the protagonist of that, was that the sister from...
It did kind of look like her, you know?
It did, yeah. I was wondering that.
Wait, was Kai Nariko's sister? Or was she just a friend? I don't know. She did kind of look like her, though.
I think she was his sister.
Yeah?
Yeah. Pretty sure she was.
It's been forever since I played the game. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think she was.
The main character looked like a bastardization between Kai and Nariko, though.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, because she did have like long red hair, but still like that painted white face with the cat eyes or whatever.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to it. The trailer was well done.
I haven't been disappointed by anything Ninja Theory has done, so I have no reason not to be excited about Hellblade.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Let's see, other things I'm excited about. Witcher 3. Oh.
Of course.
So excited. And I'm so excited that it's open world now, too, because, like, Witcher 2 kind of had instant...
Kind of open. It was just, like, really big locations, but...
Yeah, it was more, like, larger instances where you had side stuff to do within it, but this one's, like, pure open world, like Skyrim in the Witcher universe, more or less.
They they're so polished, such polished games, such great quality.
And CD Projekt Red is such a great company. Like,
it is, yeah.
I am so on board with supporting anything they do. So I'm really excited for Witcher 3.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that they support good old games as well is just fabulous. And they've given a discount on it at the moment. I think they've got a discount. Or at least they announced the
discount back at E3, and it's still discounted.
Oh, it still is? Okay.
Yeah. Like, I looked on Steam and GOG the other day, and it's still being discounted.
That's amazing, yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if that discount stays up until... Just knowing how cool CD Projekt Red is, it wouldn't surprise me if that discount stays up until release.
Yeah, I'd be really awesome.
Yeah, that would be really cool. And the whole, no DRM thing is really nice. Which it's kind of sad that you have to tout no DRM as a selling point for your game nowadays.
It is. But,
like, if this was 10 years ago, you could have just said, it's a game, and given us the same information.
Yeah. But these days you've got... and then you've got horrible things like Origin. I'm gonna ruin Dragon Age.
I guess you could get it for consoles and not have to worry about it.
They're actually doing it for PS3 and Xbox 360.
Are they?
Yeah, not just new gens.
That's interesting.
My stomach is making really funny noises right now. Can you hear it? Making little whiny noises.
I'm listening. I can't hear anything.
Of course, when people listen, it stops making noises.
Of course. It was the chair, guys.
Oh, it's not. Oh, there we go.
There it is. Nice. That was your stomach, not the chair, right?
Yeah.
And Bloodborne. Let's talk about Bloodborne.
Very excited.
Yep. Are you you're a Dark Souls fan, right?
Yes. I prefer to watch people play it because I'm
versus
really
actually
bad
playing
at
it yourself.
But I think it's fabulous. Both of them have been just
wonderful experiences.
Just great, and just so well. One thing I really noticed is that the combat is just so well done. Mm-hmm. Like the graphics, the plot, the everything.
Yeah, it has such a high difficult barrier to entry, but if you can get past that, it's just such a wonderful gaming experience.
Yeah, it is.
Because the gameplay is really tight. It doesn't hold your hand the entire time, and when you actually accomplish something in the game, it feels like an accomplishment. Versus all these other modern games, which kind of dole out all of these rewards very frequently, and it's kind of like the difference between a morphine drip and an adrenaline shot to your heart. Like, modern games mostly are morphine drips. You get a bunch of little stuff really quickly, and you kind of stay in this mid-range level of happiness. Dark Souls, you have crushing despair and misery, and then these huge peaks of triumph. And that's the entire game, throughout the entire experience. And those peaks of triumph keep you going through all the misery and shit. So...
yeah. But
it's an abusive relationship, but it's one I don't want to get out of.
I think that's funny because it is kind of like that's pretty much like all of their marketing is like, this is you're gonna fucking hate this game.
Yeah, exactly. Like Dark Souls for the PC was Prepare to Die edition.
Yeah.
They didn't hold your hand at all. It's like, you're gonna die a lot. Prepare for it. Have fun.
But it rewards you for trial and error.
Yeah.
As well, in a way. It's Yeah, it's just it's kind of it's like Super Meat Boy or like it's really freaking infuriating,
game.
But it doesn't make you want to quit. It just yeah.
Yeah, it like almost pisses you off to the point where you're like, I gotta fucking do this. I can't let the game win.
But it's not like it's infuriating. Like the combat's just like, oh, I keep dying because it's so clunky, or this part is just like
exactly. Anytime you die in the game, it's pretty much your fault.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there's something you could have done to make yourself not die.
Yeah.
Like maybe you screwed up a roll, or you blocked when you shouldn't have, or you messed up a parry or something like that. And it all just comes down to you not being able to play the game well enough to get through that part. And then you learn, and then you get through that part, and you feel good because of it.
Yeah, and it is fabulous, and it's the kind of thing like it's not, oh, this person's going to do this now, and then we have to do that, and like the boss fights, it's like, oh yeah, okay, he's got this part, and
as soon as you get the movesets down, like
it's boring.
Yeah.
But it's not like
it's
that.
boring, but it's like really triumphant at the same time. Like how many times I died on Ornstein and Smog before I finally figured it out. And then the last time I figured it out, I was like, yeah, I fucking got this. Yeah, you die, and you die. Yes!
And you die. And well, yeah, it's like Oprah moment there.
Yeah. You get a death, and you get a death. Everybody gets a death! So with Bloodborne, it's going to be interesting to see how they work in firearms to it, because like you have your melee weapon, at least what I've seen from the trailers, you have your melee weapon, and then the other hand, instead of like a shield or a chime or whatever, you have a gun. So it's going to be interesting to see how firearms work into the Dark Souls.
And I bet they're going to have instances where, it's going to be as punishing, because I'm sure there's going to be shields and Kevlar vests, versions of whatever this
whatever
period
that
is.
universe's version is of Kevlar vests. It's going to be interesting.
So
I'm
I feel
really
like
excited.
it might even be used more tactically than outright damage.
Yeah, like maybe the game is going to have less of an emphasis on blocking and more of an emphasis on maneuverability.
That would be one thing I would actually, I think the blocking part of it was a bit of a letdown. That would be one of the things I would say, but just because there was no other version than just shield up.
I mean, you could parry if you had the right shield and you were able to parry with it, but even then, blocking was pretty much your best option for most fights.
That was the one thing that did get monotonous. They're having to shield up all the time. Yeah, so hopefully they figure that out. Oh, maybe you could like get the gun and shoot away the sword or something, like in movies. Not that that actually is ever really.
That would be kind of cool.
I want to know if MythBusters ever have covered that.
What, like shoot away a sword?
Yeah, because they do it or an arrow, like in the like Robin Hood, he shoots away his arrow, shoots away a sword or something.
Yeah, knocks swords and knives and stuff out of their hands.
I wonder if that's physically possible.
Right into MythBusters. They always take suggestions.
Oh, do they?
I think so. On their like forums or whatever.
Oh, and in new MythBusters, the half of the team's left.
Like like Grant and Carrie and Tori and all of them? Huh. I didn't know that. I haven't seen Mythbusters in a very long time.
Yeah, they've well, I mean, original Mythbusters was great, and they're going back to that. But the rest of the team left, apart from the two main dudes. I've forgotten their name. I don't watch it often either. All my friends were sharing it on Facebook. So
yeah, just riveting conversation for a video game podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
Talking about Mythbusters.
Just thought about it. Just thought I'd mention it.
Yeah, we're really bad about getting off topic.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Rein it in. Okay, even if Bloodborne is nothing more than just Dark Souls with guns, I'm still going to be excited about it because I can't get enough of Dark Souls.
I am.
Bottom line.
Bottom line, yeah. There's nothing really more to be said about that. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, and now I guess let's talk about shit we're not so excited about. That was at Gamescom. Might be a shorter topic, less to say about it. I don't know. Most AAA game showings, I was not excited about at all. And that kind of goes to my current views on AAA gaming in general. Like, I can't remember the last time I was really excited for, like, a true AAA game.
Yeah. I mean, well, I'm excited for Dragon Age Inquisition, but I don't know if that's a AAA game.
I guess it could... Well, I mean, it's published by EA, developed by BioWare, so... And there's a lot of money being thrown at it. So, yeah, that probably counts as a AAA.
More money's been thrown at it than any other BioWare game before.
Really?
Yep.
That's surprising when you consider the Old Republic had, like, a crazy... I think it was, like, $500 million, right? It was, like, $500 million.
That could be, okay, but that was... that's the thing about the Old Republic. It was more LucasArts than
BioWare. Yeah. I guess BioWare was just the vessel.
It's kind of a separate area than BioWare, so I don't really clump it in with everything else. That, and they completely fucked over the KOTOR storyline, so...
Yes. We don't talk about the Old Republic.
Actually, no, I recently actually sat down and decided to play it, and I got up to level, like, 27, and I really enjoyed it, but I just got really bored eventually, and...
I got way too into it at launch. Like, I don't, to this day, I still don't fully understand what came over me. But I got the this was back when it was still subscription and not free to play. So I bought the subscription, I bought the game, and I even went so far as to buy my brother a subscription so he could play with me. Wow. And then after like a month of playing, we both decided this game kind of sucks, and I'm out $120.
Yeah, it is free to play, but you don't get benefits, like you level slower and stuff like that. So I had the subscription for a couple months, and I got to a certain area. I got to about the middle of Tatooine. By the way, I was doing every single quest I did, so I was way above level, but I was following the quest lines and stuff. Yeah. But I just, it got to the point where I was skipping most of the dialogue that wasn't main quests because I didn't really care.
Yeah.
Which was
There's
a shame.
a lot of dialogue in that game. I know that's kind of BioWare's purview, but there's a lot of talking in that game.
Yeah, I didn't think they needed all of the talking and descriptions and stuff. Like, they could have just... It got to the point where I was like, I'm a bit bored. I don't really care what you have to say. It's just...
exactly. It's getting in the way of the leveling.
That, and the fact that because they used so much dialogue, they had the protagonist, or the PC, rehashing dialogue. Did you notice that?
Yeah, like, especially with the player character would, like, repeat lines.
Yeah.
All the time.
That was really annoying. It was so really obvious.
Mm-hmm. I played Darkside, and I was a Dark Jedi, or whatever they were called. And the one line that my dude kept repeating, "There won't be a heart left beating." That one, showed up every 5 minutes.
I can't... It's funny you remember the line, because I don't remember the ones that I kept hearing, but I played a female smuggler.
Memory. Oh, okay.
I didn't really... Maybe it was as well because apparently it's not... Like, the plot wasn't as good as... apparently the Sith Inquisitor with the Imperial Agent was apparently the best quest line, and I should have done that, but I didn't. I ended up going with Smuggler because I like Han Solo.
I think I tried rolling an Imperial Agent at one point, but, like, at that point I was already pretty bored with the game, so I didn't go too much further with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just kind of... I mean, I had a friend who said he played every single character. He got top level for every single class storyline, so...
My God. Who has that kind of time?
He really liked it. But, and there are definitely a lot of Star Wars fans that really like it. It was a great game, it's just I got bored with it, I think.
Yeah.
I think there just needed to be less monotonous collecting quests.
Yeah, and I think the Old Republic was the thing that really turned me off to subscription-based MMOs. Like, up until that point, I was kind of on board with it, but the fact that I went so gung-ho for it and it completely let me down, I don't do subscription. I straight up do not do subscription-based games anymore. Like, I was really excited for WildStar, because it looked awesome and the promotional material was really cool for it, and then they announced it was subscription-based, and I was like, oh, well, that's out.
I think if you're going to be subscribing, okay, don't make me pay for the game originally, like World of Warcraft.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I would have less of a problem with it if you gave the game out for free and then there was a subscription, because, I mean, you got to make your money somehow. That makes sense. But if you're charging $60 up front and then $15 a month, it's crazy. Same thing with Elder Scrolls Online. Like, I was actually pretty excited about that one, and they're like, subscription. All right. That's out.
Yep. No, my friend really liked Elder Scrolls Online, actually, but again, I'm a poor student. I can't afford $15 a month or $30 a month or...
I just don't want to.
Fair enough. Yeah, I feel...
Because if I'm paying something every month, I feel like I have to play it. Like, even to the point where it becomes a chore.
Yeah, I think but the thing with Warcraft, I think I get they're constantly updating it, they're constantly giving it new stuff, but yeah, I just don't think you should have to pay for the original game.
Yeah,
you don't have to, because in Australia, we actually, it's like makeup. They tax ridiculous prices on top of the game. So for you guys, it's $50 for a game. In Australia, a PS3 game is about $100.
Well, I'm not up to date on what. I'm terrible with this kind of stuff. What currency do you use in Australia?
Australian dollar.
Oh, it's an Australian dollar. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's up there.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, from what little I know about economics and currency, the Australian dollar doesn't hold as much weight as the American dollar.
It does. The thing is that really, we should be paying. There's not that much difference actually between the American dollar and the Australian dollar these days.
It's just straight up more expensive.
Yep.
Ugh, that's bad. That's unfortunate. I am sorry.
Yep, I am too. So anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, the other shit I'm not so excited about, and mostly it just ties into AAA gaming. Like, I've been super let down about a lot of AAA titles nowadays. I'm more into indie stuff and, stuff from smaller studios like CD Projekt Red, or, new innovative stuff that's being collaborated with other developers like Hideo Kojima and Guillermo del Toro on Silent Hill. Like, that's the kind of stuff that gets me excited. Just shitting out a new AAA title for the 50th year in a row, that doesn't get me excited anymore. All right, so we had another topic that we were going to cover this time, and it was going to be the Zoe Quinn whole shitstorm that has just been igniting the internet lately. It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty intense, yeah, what's going on. It's like a giant war, and Lord of the Rings music's playing, and...
Yeah, pretty much. Fire arrows, elephants, the whole nine. I'm just waiting for the army of the dead to just come swooping in and take everything out. So basically, we've already been talking at you guys for about an hour now. So we're going to do something a little bit different, and this is the first and potentially last time that we do this. But we're actually going to release a supplemental episode to this one, an Open NAT episode 2.5, if you will, where we will discuss the Zoe Quinn controversy. And we will also be joined by the Interesting NPCs mod creator, Chris Takahashi, our fearless leader. Yay! So, either that supplement will be released alongside this one, and you can click on it right now, or it'll be released in the next coming days. But we're gonna go ahead and call it for this episode now.
Call it what?
So, I'm not good with coming up with names, especially on the fly. This is a big decision,
2.
Lucy. We don't even know if it's a boy or a girl yet. I can't believe you want me to think of names.
Give it
How could you pressure me like this?
A gender vague name, like...
A gender dysmorphic name. Like... Just a whole bunch of consonants and punctuation marks.
Chris. That's a... Christina? Christopher?
Kelsey? That works. That's both. All right. Okay, so for myself and the 3D NPC Podcast Network, I'm Will Handford.
And I'm Lucy Starita.
Join us next time when we will talk about...
Spider-Man.
See ya.
Bye.
You're listening to the 3D NPC Podcast Network, and you're also listening to me, Skiel the Grey, the greatest jester ever known. Click the subscribe button if you like doing what you're told. What is a podcast anyway? How is that even a word? No one uses iPods anymore. They're deader than I am. At this point, you may be asking yourself, why would a skeleton want to listen to a podcast if he doesn't have ears? To which I would reply, how dare you speak to me? Subscribe, and you'll get a custom skeleton made by yours truly. Some assembly required. Subscribe. How bad could it be? Everyone else is doing it, including that one guy. You know, the one you really respect. Yes, that's right. Him. Why wouldn't you want to subscribe? Bear in mind the alternative is me sending you nudie pictures. Hold on, I'm not wearing anything right now.